Hey y'all, it's your girl D from Kenyan Reacts, and it's been a minute. So, can you guess what we all have today? Well, today we have a scammer hired me to work for him. Let's get started, peeps.
I've been hearing that scammers are lurking around gig sites like Upwork and they will
Uh-huh.
post jobs for people looking for work.
Upwork.
But they
Oh
have no
no.
intention of paying you or having you do any kind of work, they just want to scam you. And to show you how they do
Sure.
it, I went ahead and I applied for one of these scam jobs claiming to need data entry. And you'll usually know which
Mm-hmm.
ones are scams because they'll say they have spent $0 so far and the payment method is unverified. So
Oh.
after I applied, I think that they liked me because I got a message inviting me to contact the manager, Shannon Ald. But I'm instructed to download the
Oh.
Telegram app and contact him there. I'm told your swift and timely
Mm-hmm.
response matters a lot in this beneficial position. We look forward to having you on the team. Okay, well, this is very exciting. So I download Telegram and I add Shannon and I send him a message and I say, "Hi, I'm looking for Shannon." And he responds and he says, "Hello, Ben. How are you doing today?" And I said, "Hi, I'm
Mm-hmm.
fine." And I remind him about the position that I'm interested in. So he responds and he says, "That's
Who are
good to
you?
hear. Can we proceed with the interview sessions now?" And I said, "Absolutely." And he said, "Note that this interview and employment process will be chat to chat session via texting on this platform. As we proceed further with the
Mm-hmm.
briefing and interview, you will get to know more about the opening position. You have a total of 50 minutes for this. A swift response is required." Okay, well, I guess I'm about to spend the next 50 minutes of my life interviewing with this guy. He said, "I am Mr. Shannon Ald, Materials and Quality Manager at Montag Press." Okay, what is Montag Press? I Google it and it looks to be a small independent publisher of fiction books and plays. They even sell their books on Amazon, so it looks pretty legit. Maybe this isn't a scam. Or maybe the scammers are impersonating Montag Press. But he continues and he
Yeah.
says, "Before we proceed, I would love to know more about you. That would help where to categorize
Mm-hmm.
you and how best to interview you. Please introduce yourself and indicate your full name and location." Okay, so to test the
Sounds like
waters, I
some
just
red
make up
flag.
whatever comes to mind and I say that my name is Ben and I have been doing data entry and copywriting for 5 years. I worked full time at Jim Browning University before the pandemic and then worked for a social media startup called Pierogi doing Facebook ad copywriting and moderating. Now, if he knows
Mm-hmm.
anything about scam baiting, he'll know that I just gave myself away. But it doesn't faze him at all, and he just says it's a pleasure to meet you. Next is the briefing about the project and the company. I advise you to read with care. So he continues and he says, with each line, just respond with an okay or yes to indicate your readiness for further briefing. So for the next 50 minutes, I hear him out and answer all his questions. He tells me I'll get paid 25 bucks an hour
Oh.
to do data entry and load quotes for customers. He tells me about the skills I'll need. He asks me all kinds of questions about my work experience, and I just make up all kinds of garbage on the spot. He finally tells me that after much deliberation, he's decided to give me a chance to show my commitment, charisma, diligence, and to be a productive employee. Nice, I just
That
got
is
hired.
pure
Except I'm
happiness.
pretty sure it's
Uh-huh.
a scam. But either way, it's time to start the
Yeah.
employee paperwork. So he tells me that an employment letter has been sent to my email, and I head on over to check it out. And I do, in fact, have an email from careers at montagpress.com. Okay, this is strange. That's the actual website for Montag Press. How are they emailing me
Mm-hmm.
using the actual domain if this is a scam? I open the attachment that they've sent me, and
Yeah.
it informs me that I've been given a provisional offer as a data entry. Okay, you don't call someone a data entry. Data entry is what you do. So to see what happens next, I go ahead and I sign for bend
Red
over and I send it
flags.
back. But apparently, I was supposed to
Okay.
send it through Telegram and not through email because Shannon gets mad at me for emailing it. And I think I know why he's mad because I immediately get an email back saying careers at montagpress.com couldn't be found. Well, then how did he send me an email from that address if it doesn't exist? I open up the header on the email and I
Yeah.
look at the code and I can see that someone is spoofing the domain and sending it through a made up email address from Montag. You're probably wondering how he did
This
this, and
stomachs
so did
really
I.
got tactic.
But my friend Ronnie
Uh-huh.
taught me that there are these authentication methods called SPF and DMARC that basically prove to an ISP
Okay.
and email services that senders are authorized to send emails from a particular domain. And if a site doesn't have a
Oh.
valid SPF or DMARC record on the domain, it means that anyone can
Mm-hmm.
send an email on its behalf. Now, I'm not going to show you how
Oh.
you can do this because it's a dirty trick and scammers are probably watching this video right now. But trust me, you can do it. Ronnie went ahead
Really?
and did it just to show me that it can be done. So, for heaven's sakes, if you have a business and a website and you don't want people impersonating you, you need to add an SPF or DMARC record. I'll put a link in the description with some instructions on how you can do it. So now I know for certain that this is a scam because they're impersonating a book publisher. But what's the end goal here? Well, here it comes. He wants to send me a check to pay for the office equipment that I need to get started in my new job. So once again, I get an email from him with the check that I'm supposed to print out. Then I'm supposed to deposit it in my bank. Now, this is the classic advanced fee check scam. You deposit the check and the funds are made available to you, but if the check fails to clear, and it will, you'll be on the hook for the money that you just took out. So the scammers are going to try and get that cash from you as fast as they can. So Shannon asks for a screenshot once I deposit the check. And I'm not going to deposit the check, obviously, so it's time to try my hand at Photoshop and see if I can make him think that I did. I just need to find an existing screenshot out there and replace it with my own details. Not bad if I do say so myself. But I go ahead and I send it to him and I realize that I've made a mistake with the cloning tool. Oh crap, if he notices this, I'm screwed. But he says, great. I believe the funds are made available already for your use. Well, that was a close one. Now he believes that the money has been deposited and now he wants me to go buy the equipment. And I say, do I just go to Walmart to buy the things? But of course he doesn't want me to do that. He wants me to pay his vendor. And that's when he gives me the name of the vendor along with their Zelle banking information. Now the vendor's name is supposedly Kim, and I'm not going to tell you her last name because this person is most likely a money mule. And scammers will move money out of the country by getting you to send it to their money mules, who then convert it to Bitcoin or something. Except a lot of the time, these mules might be victims themselves who think they're just doing a job. So I start to look for public records on this Kim person and see if I can find anything out, but I'm not having any luck. And Shannon knows that the clock is ticking to get his money, so he starts calling me and hanging up saying he's trying to get my attention. So I try reaching out to the phone number that he gave me to see if this is really Kim or one of his accomplices. I text her and I say, is this Kim? And they actually respond and say, how may I help you? Then I write back and I say, I'm supposed to pay you for my equipment. And they ask, can you use Venmo or Zelle? Use my Zelle that I sent to you. Okay, wait, the Zelle info that they sent me? They didn't send me any Zelle info. Shannon did.
Okay.
Or is this
Another
Shannon?
red flag
Speaking of
detected.
Shannon, he starts to write me asking if I've made the payment. And I try to push him off, but then he starts calling me again to try to get my attention. And I just say that I'm talking to Kim. And he says, you are not following my instructions. And I try to buy myself some time and I say, I don't know where to click. And then Shannon asked me to provide a screenshot. So I'm trying to find some info about this Kim person, but I might as well find out who this Shannon person is. So instead of sending him a screenshot, I just create a trackable link using grabify.link with the shortener that reads screenshot. And if he clicks this, I will know his IP address and I can determine his location. But unfortunately, he's not clicking on it.
So
He just responds with stop texting Kim. So I again respond with the link, hoping that he'll click on it. And this time, he does. And I can see that his IP address is coming from Atlanta, Georgia. But there's enough information here to tell me that he's using a VPN and hiding his actual location. Remember how you can do that with a VPN? And he's even changed his time zone to throw me off. Man, this guy is clever, but not clever enough to match his time zone with the server location. So I'm pretty confident that he's not in the United States. But now I'm back to looking for clues on this Kim person, but all I have is a name and an email address, and that's just leading to a dead end. But then the vendor thinks that he's going to prove that he's really Kim by sending me a picture of Kim's driver's license. Okay, so now I know everything about this lady. She's living in a trailer park in Arizona, and as far as I can tell, she's single. And my guess is that she thinks that she's in an online relationship with a guy who occasionally has people send her money, and then she'll send him the money but take a cut. And this is probably the most common type of money mule out there. So I send the Grabify link to this person to see if it's Kim or a scammer, and once again they're using a VPN putting them in Dallas. Then they respond and tell me to get some Google gift cards, but I need to get this person on the phone so I can figure out who I'm dealing with once and for all. So I call her up, but she responds and says, send it here, I'm driving. And I'm like, you can text while you drive, but not call? Then she says, let me park my car. And a couple of minutes later, I do in fact get a call from her.
Red flag detected.
Press 1 to send a voicemail. Press
Hello.
Hello? Is this Kim?
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello? Okay, I think to myself, who could this be? Could this be the real Kim?
Please, can you send me the cash so that I can get the equipment?
Yeah, that sounds pretty Nigerian to me. Did they go hunt down a girl, or is
Mm-hmm.
this a dude with a really high pitched voice? Kim, is this you?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Kim, you live in Arizona, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Hey, remind me, what's the capital of Arizona? Hey, Kim?
Hello?
Hey, are you there? He's
Seriously,
probably
dude.
Googling it right now.
Hello?
Hi.
It's Phoenix.
What?
Phoenix.
Phoniques? Does he mean Phoenix? This scammer was clever enough to use a VPN, clever enough to spoof another domain's email address,
Crazy
and
as
clever enough to
shit.
find a woman to impersonate the real Kim, but he gets caught
Oh.
when mispronouncing the name of the place he claims to live.
Phoenix.
So Kim goes quiet, but then Shannon writes me and says that I have his company's money and that I'm going to go to jail if I
Phoenix.
don't pay
And
the
so
vendor.
She says it's Phoenix.
Okay, sure, buddy. I just respond with Nigerian
Really?
prison or US prison. To which he responds with a bunch of Nigerian profanity. And so, to my Nigerian friends, I am pretty impressed with how clever you're getting,
Oh,
but I bet that you
no.
can use those skills to provide value to someone and make some legitimate money. So, while you're on Upwork looking to scam people, why don't you just consider actually applying for some of those jobs where you can use those skills to help other people? I promise you it's a better way to live, and you'll be happier knowing that you're providing someone else with something of value. Hey, I sure hope that this video was valuable to you all and that you learned what to watch out for. These scammers are out there, and you all need to be very
Yeah,
careful.
yeah,
So
yeah,
subscribe to this channel because there's more to cover, and I will see you all next time.
So actually, I'm from Kenya, and it's so scary how many times I've gotten scams over the last few years. Like after the corona pandemic and the lockdown shit, everything has just been in a mess. So I actually decided to explore the freelancing sites. I got the skills, I created an Upwork account, I've been to Indeed, so Reddit, looking for jobs here and there. And let me tell you, my dear friends, as a new freelancer, I really feel disappointed and I'm upset because just like almost all scam, all sites are just scam. Everyone seems to be a scammer. So before accepting any online gig, I actually suggest or rather advise you to look for all the possible red flags before you actually accept the job. I also hope you got something valuable from the video. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. See you in our next video. Bye.